Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off. We are a couple weeks removed from the Levante David episode. We wanted to let the dust settle. And when I say I wanted to let the dust settle, that just means it's a little difficult to book some people in the heart of the offseason. But I have the prettiest beard next to me in the NFL. In NFL history, maybe. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome a 10-year NFL veteran, a Pro Bowler, a man that has played for two of maybe the most hated teams in the AFC, in the Bills and the Chiefs. And most importantly, like I just said, the prettiest beard I have ever seen in my entire life. Mitch Morse, welcome to Caps Off.
Dude,
man.
I appreciate having me on. Tremendous introduction.
You like that one?
Yeah, well, I think it's just like it does set the tone, and when you're in the space now, you don't know how, because like presenting information, what you're going to share, and then you have this idea, then the Holy Spirit takes over. You got a gift, so I appreciate having me on.
I appreciate it. I literally, when you walked into the studio of where we were, I said it to you. I was like, dude, I could spot your beard from a mile away. How do you do? How does that happen?
Yeah, well, it's out of necessity. You know what I mean?
Why,
like,
you have a baby face,
I just have no chin, so I'll show you something.
You can take some of my chin.
This is where my chin starts.
You really do have no chin.
I really have no chin.
Holy shit!
No chin, and the Lord gives and takes away in this space. But that being said, it's what I know,
right?
And when I was able to actually let it fly, you know, we had a palate cleanser. Every few years when you have a beard, you kind of have to take it off.
Totally. Well, you want to make sure something's still there.
Well, yeah, right. But you get excited, and then seconds after you take it off, you're like, please, Jesus.
Yeah, get it back.
Give me a witch doctor, whatever shaman that I have to do to rub whatever oil for it to grow back. And inevitably it does, but I appreciate it. I brushed the hell out of it on my way. I look like an insane. I appreciate it, man.
Where's the Manscaped sponsorship? Like, what are we fucking doing here? Manscaped.
Well, Manscaped,
This is what do we do? This is your prototypical person.
Selfish plug. That'd be sick.
Okay, selfish. It's not selfish for you, though, because I suggested it. So technically, I'm plugging you, but we got to get a Manscaped sponsorship for Mitch Morse.
So just helping people helping people. That's fantastic.
I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but there is a wave to it that I think is underrated that you can't see. Like, there's the typical beard, and then there's the wave to it. But I don't know how this segues actually into free agency, but before we get into free agency, we were talking about off air, like, dude, you look like you're straight off the boat right now.
Yeah, listen, dude,
well, it is raining. In defense, it is raining.
Which is actually even more wild that you would just keep the toes open.
Yeah.
And I had packed clippers because I was planning on clipping these toenails. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I think just trying to immerse yourself in the Florida life, letting those things breathe, and it's finally warm, dude. Like, having the opportunity to just throw these things on and fly and do stuff. And you always keep some Crocs in the back just in case you do need a closed-toed, just relatively.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't wear anything except.
Yeah, you look like do you fish?
Amazon. See, that's the thing. It's stolen valor.
Yeah.
Because I do fish a little bit.
Right.
But if you start talking like logistics of fishing,
you have no idea.
I'm dipping out.
Right.
I'm finding something.
But you want to be on the boat.
There's a family emergency on my phone, and I'm gonna leave.
You're getting out of it.
I'm out of here.
But do you want to be on the boat, or you don't even want to be? Okay, so
I do. I don't want to be.
You want to be there for the fish to be caught, but you don't want to put in the effort of actually reeling the fish.
I don't know if that's totally true.
Okay, because that's how I feel, and I go fishing often.
It's super cool when someone provides the stuff for you, and you just have to toss that thing in and rip them. But some of those folks love the sanctity of getting the boat ready, preparing the night before.
For sure.
Where are we going to dock and stuff? Sweet.
Yeah.
That doesn't float my boat. I do appreciate
good analogy.
Yeah, just
good use.
No pun intended. ripping the fish out of the water, showing them. I took my son. Congratulations, by the way. You're popping off here in July.
Mitch Morse just hard launched and I'm having a baby, so that's cool.
Oh, it
wasn't a secret. I'm having a baby. And Mitch just
which, dude, honestly, is all those cliches are around for a reason. It is truly the greatest gift on earth. Perspective, life is about perspective. It just thrusts perspective on you in the best way. Your priorities immediately, chemically, your body changes when you have a kiddo, and your priorities just in an instant.
Totally.
When you're in that delivery room, everything kind of makes sense. What is important, what isn't. That being said, I was able to take my son, who was 3 at the time, just turned 4, to go fishing for the first time, and we were in just this honey hole, just ripping them, and he got bored. And I'm like, dude, so now I need to take him, and he's there's no I need to find a place where he's not going to catch shit.
Right. He needs to learn the hard way.
Has to.
We've
all been out there.
That's why they call fishing, not catching.
Bingo.
You like that one?
I do like that one.
That's a good one.
That's sick, dude.
Well, by the way, I can't claim that one.
I'm sure you can.
You know what? I am, actually. Yeah. My father-in-law, if he's watching this, claiming that one. That one's mine.
That's sick.
But we are a few days, so this episode's going to come out next week, but we are currently one official day after free agency. There's so much free agency shit that's happening. And I don't even know where I want to begin. Maybe it's the Maxx Crosby stuff, but Mitch Morse, what the fuck happened with the Maxx Crosby deal? What do you think?
Well, I think
because I see all the rumors.
Well, I mean, I'm sure someone's told you once in your life if you smell poop.
Yeah. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
When there's smoke, there's fire. There's poop somewhere, dude. I don't know where it is, but it's there.
Might be my asshole, but
it might be, and which is cool. But like, it just does not make sense to me. He is such a prolific, game-changing, generational football player. He's shown time and time again. Now that being said, the extent of his knee, sure. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you anything. I haven't seen any images. I don't know that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But if I know Maxx, the way he rehabs, the way he's going to come back. The thing that made it stink a little bit was the fact that the rumor mill came about that they were talking to Trey Hendrickson
100%.
While Maxx was in the building.
Yeah.
Dude, stay off a day until you do not medically clear
100%.
Maxx Crosby. Yeah, I mean, you just pissed off Maxx Crosby even more than he already is at the world, which kind of makes him the football player he is. The thing that you see when you play Maxx is that motor it's one of one. Mm-hmm. From play one to play whatever, 80, it doesn't matter if they're down by 20 or in the shoot of it. He's giving you the business. Totally. And listen, Trey Hendrickson is a fantastic football player.
But I think Maxx Crosby's a better edge rusher than Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, and if they were saying like they were trying to pair them both up, it's a lot of cheese.
Is that what they were saying?
That's what they were saying. Like, the GM came out like our every intention after Linderbaum went away was to kind of clear these because we had the cheese.
Right. Do you believe that? I don't believe that.
Do I believe it?
I mean, I watched Eric DeCosta's press conference and I was just like, dude, like when he said, I'm gutted. Like no one is more, when you say no one is more something than me, you're lying through your fucking teeth. That's how I feel.
Right. I just think these guys, and I give the benefit of the doubt these dudes in these positions to bolster a team knowing the kind of players that are in the league and the talent.
Yeah.
And unless you're blind or don't know what's going on in football, you know that Maxx Crosby is that kind of transcendent football player.
100%.
You'd like to take the benefit of the doubt in that department, but it just smells stinky, dude. I don't know what it is.
It's funny because, like, on one hand, I don't blame the Ravens. I don't. Because if you look back and see Trey Hendrickson still available, who may not give you 100% of the production that you're looking for out of Maxx Crosby, but if you can get 90% on any given day, 95% and get close, and keep those two firsts, if you're trying to build a roster, it makes sense. However, when I look at the situation for what it is, it's almost like if you're the Ravens, you can't get it's funny. The Ravens and the Bills are in a similar position, in my opinion, because the Ravens and the Bills both acknowledge that what we've done in the past does not work for today's NFL.
Sure.
We have left Josh Allen with no receivers. We've left Lamar Jackson with Zay and Derrick Henry, but this build doesn't work. Maybe we got to get rid of John Harbaugh. Like, what you're seeing right now is, okay, we need to do a philosophical shift in both teams. And I think by trading for Maxx Crosby, that signified to me that the Ravens are legitimately trying to go after this. Same with the Bills going after DJ Moore, which I want to talk about next. But then you backpedal a little bit and say, we're going to go after Trey and we're going to use those two firsts. I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's a weird buyer's remorse vibe.
Well, it's also not the first time that the Ravens doctors have kind of put an annulment to a trade. If you look back, they've done it a few times. So I don't know if it's just like truly they have a super stingy eye and they're thinking about long term. I don't know. But yeah, even if that is the case, which you can conceptually understand, you like to think that business being dealt, you shake hands, proverbial shaking hands over the phone. But there still has to be some sort of gentlemanly way to do business.
Totally.
who's going to call and ask? I
agree.
mean, who's willing to wheel and deal with the Ravens right now? Because at the biggest stage in free agency, where all eyes are on this sphere of the information sharing and these players going about. I mean, dude, I don't know. Like Monday kicked off. I took a nap and then I woke up and the whole landscape of the NFL changed.
The Raiders have to rethink things. Everyone has to rethink things.
The Raiders spent $283 million in new contracts, and now you have to unload Maxx Crosby again, which if they can make that work is awesome because Maxx Crosby is that player. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Raiders sitting there like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I think it's actually better for the Raiders. I don't know how it works contractually, but, like, why wouldn't you want to take Maxx Crosby with Fernando Mendoza and everything? But, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird – It's a really weird situation. I remember, like, it happened obviously at night, and I remember getting the tweet and seeing Shefty do it. And Shefty then, someone posted it of Shefty. I think it was Orlovsky posted it of Shefty that, being like he's literally looking at it right there and then. So, yeah, it's a really interesting one. I don't know why, in good faith, someone be then working with the Ravens, but I also think, like, ultimately it's a business. So I don't blame the Ravens, but at the same time, fuck you. That's how I feel.
Dude, if anyone ever forgets the fact that this is a business, there's a bunch of feel-good stories and awesome. That's what fills my cup up.
Yeah.
But the ever-looming umbrella of the business of this thing will thrust its fucking knuckles right in your mouth when you least expect it.
I didn't know if you were going to go up your ass.
No.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that. But
No. My kids will eventually watch what I do one day. So that's the one thing.
That's true.
I will tell you, that's the one thing I have to be cognizant of. Still be yourself, but like, if they're on the playground just riling off F-bombs,
100%.
You can't say that. You're like, Pops, I've seen you 100. You're cool. Do your thing. You're fine. I'm not saying that. Do your thing. I will let way more fly. It's just like it's been this. We were talking off air, like editing stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, we'll be through a show. We'll be on fire. And then I'll be like, I cannot put this shit out.
Yeah.
My son's going to see this one day, and that's not how you act. Unless you're in a locker room environment, but that's behind closed doors, so it's fascinating.
Well, my daughter's then screwed because there's a lot of negative things that I probably put online, but it's okay. Also,
now they know you're having a baby girl. Congratulations!
Yep. 2 hard launches in less than 10 minutes.
That's fantastic.
Also, Monday Mornings with Mitch. Make sure to check that out.
We're rebranding next week.
Tuesday mornings with
Mitch? Fuck off. No, so Monday Mornings with Mitch was great, and we love it. It kind of pigeonholes you to a day that was actually not super great for content and also something that we really don't post that much. So starting next Thursday, the week that this thing launches, it'll be In Good Company with Mitch Morse, and it's something that we hopefully grow into, maybe dive outside of the football space. I don't know about you, but my favorite type of currency is social currency, accruing relationships, talking to folks. It's what fills my cup up. And so that just kind of fits the mold of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like I'm in good company as well.
We still have some time. So
I'm trying to fill up the cup.
I could ruin your day.
I could pour the cup out.
That'd be fantastic.
We briefly touched on it with, obviously, DJ Bohr, but I saw this debate on Twitter. Which trio is better, Bills or Ravens now? So with the Bills, you got Josh Allen, James Cook, DJ Moore. With the Ravens, you get Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers. I have an opinion, but I actually don't know which one is better. And as someone that played with the Bills for 5 years, as someone who's really a part of Bills Mafia, you could speak on the Bills better than anyone, really, that I feel like I've spoken to. So I want to know your perspective.
That's a great question. And like you said, it is a toss-up. You could go 50-50 with it. If you look at it, taking a step back, you look at it pragmatically, like you have Lamar Jackson, who's already an incredible dual run threat. Josh is as well, but Lamar, to a certain extent, is such a prolific runner, right? Then you have Derrick Henry, who every year, these past few years, is like, all right, this is the year he's going to take that step back. And he was 30 yards away from, again, being the NFL rushing leader. And then Zay Flowers is one of those guys that I think it just, on any given moment or any given game, could go off, give you $150.
Yep.
Josh, now, of course, I'm extremely biased in this thing, is one of the most prolific quarterbacks that we've seen in this game the past quarter century. You have James Cook, who has this gift of understanding how the play is going to kind of matriculate, how it's going to unfold. He's got this thing where he knows how to take a hit, which I think is a gift in this thing.
Yes.
And then DJ Moore, I mean, just watching those games, like watching Chicago, especially in the playoffs, in those big moments, him making these huge plays, he's dynamic. He's still a young player in this league, which is crazy. I mean, I'm going to give it to the Bills, but
I'm going to say the Bills too.
I'm absolutely putting my biased cap on here because it's not like those other dudes don't know how to
100%.
absolutely ball.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I am also going to say the Bills. I just think when I look Josh Lamar, I think that's probably net. When I go Derek James, I think you naturally go James or naturally go Derek. However, given that running back is, well, just for the sake of this trio, the most obsolete, I go to the wide receiver. I think DJ Moore is still one of, and has been, one of the most underrated, underappreciated wide receivers. And I get people say, oh, the last 2 years he's been producing less and he's been trickling down. Well, that's just because the utilization hasn't been there.
Right.
And they have so much talent. And yes, I get it when he got to Chicago. Like Luther Burden wasn't there, and Colson Loveland wasn't there.
Right.
And Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
But I just think DJ still has legs. And I think what he provides that offense is exactly what the Bills needed, a true playmaker on the outside. I've always felt that in order for an NFL team to have success, you need an alpha wide receiver one on the outside, no matter who it is. That's why I still think Mahomes can't find the same success that he had when he had Tyreek. It's not the same, right? So I think you need the alpha one, and I think by the Bills finally getting DJ Moore, that's what we have here, and that's why I picked that trio.
I think your thoughts on DJ Moore are profound. I also think that if you look at the Bills next year, it's not like they're going to still be a 50-50 split. They're still, in my opinion, yes, it's interesting. We were talking about off air how we're both pretty big, huge Sean McDermott fans. I love the man. But I've always been interested in what happened in those owner meetings with the GM and Joe Brady, where he sat down and convinced them, although he was in the building.
Yep.
And I love Joe. He's one of my favorite folks of all time. Great buddy.
He seems like he's cosplaying as a head coach, and I don't know why. It just feels like he's always doing the right thing and saying the right thing.
That's how
I respect.
No, that's how he operates. I think he is going to be a fantastic head coach. But does that mean he's going to change the offense up a bit? I don't know. I think he found something really good. They're going to lose Aaron Cromer, who's the offensive line coach, which I think is a bigger deal than people are talking about. They bring in Pat Myers, who's from the kind of same tree, worked with Coach Cromer. But it gives you an opportunity. The run game always sets up the pass game.
Totally.
And now you do have that deep bomb threat or a guy that can just get productive yards in these third and manageables, but also a threat where I think this guy can produce if it's everyone and their mother knows that we're going to throw the ball. And he can still get open in that. So I was super stoked when they got that guy.
I was like, and I get it, BTJ might be available. We'll talk BTJ. A.J. Brown was there. But with that being said, I think DJ, if not now, then when? And I think that's what this trade signified to me is like, okay, we fired Sean and we're bringing in Joe, we got to make a change. And that change starts with a weapon on the outside that we haven't had since Stephon Diggs. So.
Well, you attested to it. Like, guys accrue just time on task in this league. This will be his, I think, third team. He was with the Panthers and the Bears. You gain perspective on how you want to do business yourself and how to be a professional in your own body, because what I do to prepare myself as a professional might not be the same for even another offensive lineman. So you learn what fits for you. Different resources are available. So in theory, it should be he's finding his groove as a professional,
100%, yes.
Which is cool.
Another big free agency thing that's occurring as of, I think, today. So by the time this episode comes out, I think it's already going to happen. But Kyler Murray to the Vikings. Now, I'm not going to – I'll say this. This will be my stance. I think Kyler Murray to the Vikings makes the Vikings one of, if not the best team in the NFC. I think they're a top 3 team. I think we forget that they were 14 wins with Sam Darnold. But I'm curious, Mitch Morse, if Kyler Murray goes to the Vikings, what does this mean for J.J. McCarthy?
You're going to hear Coach speak in this whole thing. It's not that they lose any faith in J.J. McCarthy, but when you have,
it is.
I'm just putting my coach speak hat on here. Just bear with me here. They're throwing competition into the mix. They're lighting a fire under J.J. McCarthy's ass. Now, this dude could combust and turn into something awesome.
Yeah.
And we actually see J.J. McCarthy put something together where all of us in this space are like, I told you from the jump J.J. McCarthy had
they're going to come out.
Which would be sick because I want to see dudes succeed.
Right.
That being said, Kyler Murray is a really good football player.
Yep.
And I think a change of scenery, like we talked about, you're accruing information about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a change of scenery is the best thing for players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's learned a lot about what he wished he would have liked to do differently, even if it's a leader's perspective or just how to be a pro. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the Vikings, no one's going to refute the fact that they have remorse from watching Sam Darnold go over after he wins 13 games, hoist a fucking Lombardi trophy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the kind of things I love, seeing guys have those second chances, but I'm sure in the Vikings stance, not super dupe. I think you pair him with O'Connell, who's a really brilliant mind in this league, and then you see how J.J. McCarthy responds. That's the great thing about this league. It's a great test of any competitor's true grit and ability to grow. Is they bring someone in. It's like, all right, now, see what you either sink or you swim. Let's see you do it. So I'm hoping he swims. That being said, do I think that he's the starter with Kyler going there? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think if Kyler signs to the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy never suits up for the Vikings again unless Kyler gets injured. Now, I'm not rooting on injuries. I just think, and I was talking about this with someone a couple days ago, which is I think Kevin O'Connell backed himself into a little bit of a corner. And it might have been Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah or whatever, who's no longer the GM. But he backed himself in a corner because he said, you know what, we let Darnold go. We just won 14 games with him, but we're going to let him go. I believe in JJ. Pound the table. Let's bring this guy in. You bring this guy in, huge regression. The dominoes that can fall by putting J.J. McCarthy back out there, even if he outperforms what he did last year, is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL potentially asks out. Mm-hmm. A window potentially closes with that defense and Brian Flores. Like, these moments are so far and few that you have to go out and say, you know what? I might need to make a change. And if I make that change, how do I go back to J.J. McCarthy? So I don't know. When I look at the Vikings, I think if Kyler does become a Viking, Kyler looks like he is going to become a Viking. Mm-hmm. And as of us recording this, he's not. But let's just say for the sake of it, he is.
Right.
I don't see J.J. McCarthy shooting up for the Vikings. The good part about that is we are in an era of reclamation projects, and sitting behind others could not be more beneficial for you.
Well, I mean, you look at maybe the greatest in the past 10 years, depending on who you ask, sat his first year behind Alex Smith.
Yep.
It's the one thing that quarterbacks don't get the grace that other positions do, especially when you invest early or you put this guy on a pedestal, because it is the most important position in sport. Mm-hmm. You can have all these pieces, a defense, a wide receiver one, maybe the best receiver in the game. But if your quarterback play is not up to par, you're going to suffer. You're not going to make these things. So, yeah, I think a change has to be made if you're Kevin O'Connell, right?
JJ's out.
But that being said, no one's rooting harder for him to have that reclamation story, which we've seen in these past decade or so, than the folks sitting right here.
Well, you could take that one. It's not that I'm preying on his downfall. It's just more so like my quarterback, as a Dolphin fan, we just signed Malik Willis. Yeah. And one of the things he just said in his press conference as I was driving up and listening, because I just did a 5.5-hour drive to come see your sweet
Thank you very much.
I love you so much.
I appreciate that.
But he had said, when I was drafted, I didn't know how to play the NFL quarterback, which is different than college. Totally. And I think that's what we're seeing with J.J. McCarthy. Playing the NFL quarterback position is far different than the college quarterback position. And so that's why so many of these quarterbacks fail. Players don't fail organizations. Organizations fail players. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're seeing potentially with JJ. Granted, he has KOC. As a defense, he has weapons. But I just don't think he was ready yet. And they threw him into the fire. And it's okay sometimes that fire goes out. But I think he will have success elsewhere. And hopefully this doesn't end up on freezing cold takes. So
clip it, put it out there. I agree.
Before we start going chronologically backwards, though, in your career and talking about some moments, because you were part of the 13 seconds game that I have to ask you about because I've never spoken to someone that was on the Bills for the 13-second game. I want to ask you about some things that I talked about with Donovan McNabb, the Jags. I'm fascinated. You were on a 4-win team, and now the Jags, a year later, end up winning 13 games. So I need to know the perspective. But before we do that, I want to play worst to first. Okay, so there were two teams last year that were worst. They were last in their division, and then they finished first in their division. So I want to do worst to first, week 1 of NFL Free Agency edition with Mitch Morse, okay?
Ooh, okay.
Pro Bowl center. We have the Jets, the Browns, the Titans, the Raiders, the Giants, the Lions, the Saints, and the Cardinals. Now, we're going to do this together, right? Because I just said eight teams. Yep. It's difficult.
Thank you.
So I want to pick I want to rank them 1 through 8, and most likely to win their division versus least likely.
Okay.
So the most likely, in my opinion, would probably be the Lions or the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints are sneaky.
Sneaky.
Super sneaky. I've talked to a few players on that team, and you saw him make a little bit of a run at the end of the season. Even
Tyler
when they're
Shuck looks amazing.
Tyler Shuck, I think he's one of those guys who's going to step in and make this huge leap next year. Supposedly, the culture in that team is phenomenal. Kellen Moore is supposedly the coach that everyone wants to go to battle for.
I didn't I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know he had him. He didn't look like he had the dog in him. He looked like a puppy.
No doubt. And he kind of worked himself in there. Who's the other team you said?
Lions.
Dude, yeah. I can't bet against Dan Campbell.
So you want to put the Lions 1? We can put the Lions 1.
I put Lions 1.
Okay, we'll put the Lions 1. Saints 2? Or do we want to do, like, Titans are interesting?
Titans are
Giants.
Super interesting. Giants. No, you can definitely put the Saints.
Okay, Saints 2. Saints 2.
Saints 2 in that division. That's right.
Yeah, the division's shit. Then you have, I think the options then are Giants or probably Titans because the Raiders, it's just
I mean, I know who I'm going to put last.
The Jets.
The Jets, yeah.
Over the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We'll put them 8. Let's get them 8. Let's put the Jets 8. Okay. Hey, why don't we work backwards then?
Okay.
Browns 7?
Browns.
Cardinals 7. Oh, Cardinals might be 8, though.
They could. The Jets are just so fascinating to me, especially being in that division so long. That's a fan base that wants it so bad, and it's hard not to root for them to a certain extent. And I like Aaron Glenn a lot. I like their head coach a ton. But
yeah, what'd you think of Aaron Glenn falling asleep at the combine?
Man's tired.
I was like, I'll be doing the same shit.
Man's tired. Listen, all this stuff is recorded. Was it the fact that the dude and he caught himself?
And then he tried to play. He should have waved. He should have waved.
That was tough. I feel bad for the guy, but yeah, the Cardinals are interesting too. So I would just put them at 7. Though.
Okay, Cardinals 7. Maybe we go Browns 6 then, if we're working.
Browns
backwards?
are 6.
Okay.
Yeah, Browns could have a sneaky good season, relatively.
All right, we need 3, 4, 5. Titans, Raiders, Giants.
Ooh. If you're looking through divisions, the Raiders have the prospects are huge, especially when you spend all that money. But you're going to bring in, I think it's a pretty much done deal. They're going to bring in that rookie quarterback. But they got to go through the Broncos, who represented the AFC in the AFC Championship game.
Tough.
And they have the Chiefs, who are about as tense of a team right now in that building, and that's not a bad thing. They're just like the tension's palpable, and the best way for them to get over that hump. Again, you have Pat coming off of his ACL, and I think it just takes one pipe smoking idiot to say he's not going to do it for him to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Just knowing the dude. Might
be the Titans, honestly.
So the Titans made some really good moves, and Robert Saleh's defense is crazy, and then you have bring Brian Daboll in, who's a exuberant personality, but knows how to put points on the board.
Yeah.
And especially if you get him scoring points early on, he's going to do it through the air, and then you have that defense rushing the passer and these teams that are going to be trying to throw the ball. In that division, the Houston Texans are interesting, but they're still up there. The Jags, I think, unlike a lot of folks, I think they're going to have repeat success.
Yes. Is that what people are saying? They don't think?
I've heard it, and it's insane to me. I would put the Titans over.
Put Titans 3. I like that. I think it's just the unknown.
It is the unknown. But you had a guy like John Franklin Myers to the mix, who is one of the more underrated guys, along with some other dudes that defense.
I love how analytical you're going on what, like you're making a case for all these guys.
I'm just thinking.
But I think it's how my brain's trying to wire it too. I love it.
No doubt.
We need 4 and 5 now. Giants and Raiders.
I'm going to put. I got a lot of stake in the Giants. One of my best friends is the receivers coach there, and I like Harbaugh a lot. He's a culture guy. I also think as much as these 2 rookies last year drove me up a wall because I couldn't imagine being in that locker room with them.
Who, Cam and Jackson?
Yeah, but like you cannot deny that those guys love football when it's time to strap it up and play hard.
Yes.
They play hard.
Yes.
So I'm going to put them at 4.
Beautiful.
I'll put the Raiders at 5.
Worst to first rankings in terms of teams that could literally win their division this year heading into 2026 after week 1. 1 Lions, 2 Saints, Titans 3, Giants 4, Raiders 5, Browns 6, Cardinals 7, Jets 8.
I feel pretty good about that, actually.
That feels right on the money.
I cannot wait to eat crow when all of that is just for naught.
We're gonna do something at the end, which is a fascinating stat about your career that I looked up. But we're gonna do something that I also think, by the way, clip the shit out of it because that thing is going to age like fucking milk. It's gonna be fantastic. But for both, we're gonna do this together. We do these together. This is me and you.
No, that's as long as we're going both down the ship. Titanic, we're both playing the fiddle. It's the shit.
I also like to see that you're a glass bottle guy. You know, you're caring about what you're putting into your system.
I'm trying, dude. You know, the problem is I got this thing on the road, and I love sparkling water, but I was really hoping it was still. So I'm just like off camera, just burping my brains out. But it does.
Let it fly.
Maybe like I also believe in placebo effects. You can't knock those. So I feel better drinking this glass. And I used to rip dudes when they did. And then when I got out and I was like, I'm a depreciating asset that needs to kind of watch what they're doing. I'm glass all the way, pal.
I'm an Andrew Huberman guy. I definitely find on these long drives.
Of course.
I'm listening to Huberman Lab and whatnot, and when you talk about it, and then you get into the real deep spectrum of Paul Saladinos and everything. Now you're getting into a weird place of what you think, but I will say what we're knowing is plastic bad. Glass, good. And that's a good thing.
So the two things I have done is I've tried to X the microwave as much as possible.
Full microwave.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes you got to warm up soup.
Yeah, okay, I see.
I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I want my soup. I'm going to do it. Like, I also here's another thing I also believe in is like the 80-20 rule, which is if I'm on the road or doing something or I'm with friends, I'm going to live my life.
As you should.
I'm going to live. I'm not going to deter dudes like, guys, we got to go to another gas. Like, I'm going to get, first of all, my friends are going to beat my ass.
Yeah.
Because as they should, because it's insane. But also just trying to. You can only do so much.
You can only do so much. All right, let's start with Jacksonville, right? Mm-hmm. You have 1 year in Jacksonville, 2024. I'm really fascinated about one thing when I think of your stint in Jacksonville. When you were in Jacksonville, you guys went 4-13. The following year in 2025, the Jacksonville Jaguars go 13-4. Yes. Now, the only thing that really changed substantially was Doug Peterson to Liam Cohen.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you, because it's not just Jacksonville, right? When you think of the Seahawks, year one, Mike McDonald, 10 wins, and then win the Super Bowl. Year one of Mike Vrabel, they go to the Super Bowl. So it's not just the Jags. Right. We see it so often. How do you explain how impactful coaching can be for a roster that really doesn't change that much? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Right. And this is of all the questions, is going to be the hardest for me to answer because I have stake in the man, Doug. He was my first ever offensive coordinator in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I love the man. But you answered your own question. Sometimes there just needs to be an interjection of a team, new lifeblood. We're seeing it with teams that have been winning.
Right.
It's the way of it's just the way that this thing goes. But I remember sitting there and we were stinking it up, and I'm strapping it up against these dudes in practice. You break the huddle, and if you're just looking at the front four, you have Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen.
It's crazy.
You have Devon Hamilton, who's this absolute monster of a man. And then you have Eric Armstead as your three. I'm looking up at all these dudes. I'm like, how am I supposed to block these guys? I tell my friends, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. We have some dudes in this team. Everyone kind of tells you to go, to go kick rocks because, when you're losing, no one takes you seriously. Right. And then this thing comes around. I'm like, I told you these guys can play ball. Yeah. Before I retired, Liam was brought in, and I got to hang out with him a bit. And Tony Baselli, they kind of changed the whole thing. The one Hall of Famer the Jacksonville Jaguars have is the team president. Absolute monster of a man with a great business brain, but also knows football.
Who is it?
Football. His name's Tony Baselli.
Tony Baselli.
A tackle in the 90s. And here's how good he was. He played 7 years.
Wow.
And is a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. Holy shit.
He was a dog.
Right.
And I just remember sitting down with him, and I'm at this point in my career, I'm a cynical going into my 11th year. I've heard every coach speak. I've heard it all, and I kind of taking everything with a grain of salt, which is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to leave, or to retire in general. Just because I was turning into just not a professional, just a cynical fuck, right? That being said, sitting there with Liam, I was really blown away with his thought process. We're just chewing the fat and just like how he was going to relate to a team. Football in general is the biggest cultural melting pot in sports, I believe. Every walk of life is in this locker room. grown men from different circumstances, and you have to walk in there as a 39-year-old and command a room.
Yeah.
Still be a player's coach to a certain extent, but still be an authoritative figure.
Yeah.
How do you walk that life? And then also setting this new standard and culture of how you do business with guys who are from an organization that, I don't want to say haven't been used to winning per se, because they had gone to the playoffs and made a huge stint for a few years with Doug. But there was something, it was almost palpable, tangible. I was leaving that, and I was like, man, I know I'm almost on my way out of here, but this guy's awesome.
Yeah. Liam made you almost want to stay? Almost. They had actually come to me. I decided I was going to retire in my head. We were in London playing our 2-week stint, and we just played the Bears, and we were going to play the Patriots, so we were staying. Oh yeah, you're the London Jaguars.
The London Jaguars.
You're London's team. Yeah.
And we just gotten kind of throttled by the Bears, and we go on film, and it is a highlight film of me messing up, and rightfully so. It was terrible. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, damn it. And then, but right next to the hotel is where they filmed Harry Potter. So I'm walking through Harry Potter land, which I love Harry Potter. Sitting there, I'm walking through platform 9 3/4, and just having a good time. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to be a wizard by any means, but I don't want to play football.
Yeah.
So I go home, I go back to the hotel, and I have a 4-hour conversation with my wife. I decide to retire. That being said, you can't let that affect the way you handle your business, because then you're putting yourself at risk and you're impeding the play of your people around you. So that was kind of an interesting dance.
That must have been middle of the season too.
It was middle of the season.
Yeah.
It was actually after week 6, I think,
Holy
or 7.
shit.
But it was somewhat liberating, but not as liberating as I thought it was going to be.
Harry Potter made you retire.
It didn't hurt. They had the wands. It's just very interactive. I'm like, this is kind of fun, Yeah, so maybe there was some weird mysticism about it. But they come to me with this regime change. Tony Baselli, the team president, comes up and is like, hey, do you want to be around for a culture shift going into your 11th year? And I hadn't told him that I'd definitely been thinking about retiring. I'm like, thinking about it, I have. He was going off the combine. I was taking my family to a trip to Disney. We'd reconvene, and afterwards we'd come back. But they had clawbacks written in because I'd signed a 2-year contract. I'd only done 1. And I had prorated my signing bonus, so technically I would have had to pay back 3/4 of my signing bonus. And I'm like, listen, I'm definitely not interested, but I'm more than interested in retiring. That being said, I'm willing to spend this money back, because I know when you have that checked off in your mind that you're done,
It's hard to come back from that.
it's not fair to yourself, your family, or anyone, because then say week 2 of training camp comes about, you rededicate yourself, and then you fully go, I don't want to be here. Well, the teams made decisions on the fact that you're going to be there, your family has, and then when you decide to retire, and then you don't, and then you go play through. Anyways,
It's tough.
It's insane. So and I go, there's this clawback. It is what it is, but I would be really appreciative. And he goes and talks to Tony, or Shad Khan rather, the owner.
Yeah.
And he comes back to me and goes, hey, the money's yours. We appreciate what you did. Go with grace. Go with God.
Wow.
And I thought that was really profound, because we had just talked about how the umbrella of this thing is the business.
Totally. Wow.
But they made a decision not based on, maybe they did, maybe they would have just cut me. I think there was a chance where they're like, hey, you think about retiring?
Yeah.
Because we'll retire your ass for you, right?
Yeah.
But they let me walk away on my own terms. I had this thing
That's
where I
nice.
announced. It was awesome, and I will forever be indebted to the Jags, how they did business. I will ever be a Jacksonville Jaguar fan.
That's why you still live in Jacksonville.
I love it.
But yeah, so I guess there is a massive. Here's how I'd phrase it, and I had this debate with one of my Dolphins fans today, one of my friends today, is that there is a real thing to coaching shifts. Like, even it could be a very similar talent, could be similar heads, but if you get a new coach in there, a new life, a new energy, it's clear that things, I think, could shift, and I think that's what you're alluding to with, like, obviously the Liam Cohen situation and Dougie P.
Without a doubt. I mean, football is such a momentum sport, and you think about momentum as just in the thralls of a game. But it's how you do business. It's how you walk in. It's how guys are reinvigorated going about their every day-to-day, how they handle themselves as professionals. The one thing I thought Liam Cohen did really well these past few weeks is every team does their in-house documentary series, and I think theirs is In the Hunt or The Hunt or something. And he sits down with all of his coaches. And
Except for the Dolphins. The Dolphins stopped doing theirs after week 1 when we got smacked by the Colts.
Well, they could reignite it, right? It's a whole new shift. That being said, they walked in. They had their meeting with the whole coaching staff, and he's like, listen, there can always be a flash in the pan with first-year coaches.
Yeah.
It is our job to make sure that this is a standard that we continue with. So it's on the forefront of their minds, which I thought was pretty profound.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm before we begin to jump to Bills, because I think I'm the most fascinated by your Bills stint, especially because I'm partially a all-pro Bills hater as a Dolphins fan, but partially someone that wants to see the Bills succeed as well.
Yeah. It seems to be kind of the status quo.
Hating on the Bills?
No, but just kind of like rooting for them to do it.
Yeah, I think, well...
And maybe not so much in the division.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it.
But the Patriots did?
The Patriots are okay. So the Patriots are a tough one.
No, they're not.
The Patriots are a tough one because I hated Belichick and I hated Brady.
That's true.
I love Vrabel, and I could resonate with Vrabel as a person and how he treats human beings. I think Vrabel is your prototypical player's coach, someone that knows how to speak to the younger, knows how to speak to the older, and I think today's generation of athletes needs to be treated differently, and that's why I think Belichick ultimately failed later on, and why he succeeded with Brady and couldn't succeed with a Mac Jones. And I love Vrabel, so it's very difficult for me to hate on the Patriots when in actuality that's just me searching for hate, if that makes sense.
But Belichick and Brady combo beat my ass so many times. Dude, they beat me so many times. But to your point, when they hired Mike Vrabel, I was just like, shit. I love Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
And he is a Patriot. He is the Patriot way, the new school Patriot way. And I love Drake May.
It's like not fair.
I know.
It's like I want to hate you. I want to hate you, but you're just so nice to me. It's like a clingy ex-girlfriend, but that's been just nothing. Hey, I'm rooting for you. Hope your relationship's going great, but I want to hate you. You broke my heart.
No doubt. That's really well said. Yeah, you're right. I was pretty juiced up when Vrabel made the push. Now I think other teams in the AFC should have, but it's hard not to root for the guy.
Yeah.
And because it can be disingenuous, I think that's the right word, for coaches to dap players up after a game.
Yeah.
You see it, and you're like, I don't know if that's the thing. He does it every single week, win or loss, and you can tell just by his interactions he's got these relationships with players.
Yeah.
That, especially how he handled himself and conducted himself post Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
Not only just how he handled his players, but how he stood at the podium and answered those questions.
Yep.
Dude, you tell me, there's certain coaches in this league that you're like, man, I wish I could play for that guy. He was definitely one of them.
Off the top of your head, do you have another 4 that you would say I'd want to play for you?
Well, one of them's interesting because I almost did. When I got cut from the Bills, the team that actually pushed the hardest for me was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
They were. And we had just come from Buffalo for 5 years. And I go to Pittsburgh. And my wife has always been like, listen, whatever you do this, we will follow you. You're the only person who can make this decision.
Right.
Because you're going to be the one working 7 days a week. Because it's a 7-day-a-week banger. And I go to Pittsburgh, and in my heart's heart, I'm like, man, I hope I hate this place. So it's an easy decision for me to just be like, thank you for your time, all that stuff. And then I remember calling my wife after visiting there that day. I sit with Mike T, who's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man. And I'm like, tongue-in-cheek, because I'm like, you motherfucker. I wish I hated everything about this. I loved it. I loved the players that they had. I'm a huge Cam Hayward, TJ Watt guy. I love the way that Pittsburgh, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right? Legendary. I call my wife. I'm like, I don't know if you think this is bad news or whatever. And I go, I love this place.
So what ultimately happened?
The Jags called while I was in Pittsburgh. And they're like, hey, we're going to put you on a flight down here.
You saw Shad's jet, and you were like, whoa.
No, it was. I think it was Delta, which was fine. No, it was fine. I mean, they wheel those out for the first rounders and new coaches. It's good for PR and stuff. But you see boys riding coach and stuff. It's cool. That being said, I get down here, and Doug is it was my first ever OC. I have a great relationship with Doug. I love Doug Peterson. And then we had two other coaches who were some of my best friends that were in Buffalo that actually come down to Jacksonville. And I saw the palm trees, and I saw the water, and I thought, you know what?
It's the Florida spell.
There's a really good shot that we can do this thing.
Yeah.
It ended up not being the case to make a push. I love Trevor Lawrence. I still think he has an opportunity to be a really good quarterback in this league. I think we saw that next step he took. He's a dog. I think he's just going to let the beast out the cage even more, you know. And I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work out, say it doesn't work out, at least I'll drive home to a family that's been at the beach all day, who took the kids to school in a golf cart. And I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
And so that's the decision we made. And, I still think about that. I had nightmares for like 3 months afterwards, wondering if I made the right decision.
Well, you did. Well,
No, I did. I did.
you did.
I did.
Well, I was going to say more so from a performance standpoint on the field, but the Steelers also were like, we're not doing – would you rather be average in the league? Would you rather be hovering around 500, or would you rather just be a 4-win team and be like, you know what, we suck. I know I'm going to retire. You know
what? I will tell you, I thought I was a professional. I thought I handled myself as a professional in this business. That's kind of what I prided myself on.
Yeah. Where are you going with this?
But when you're – I told you this still.
Let it out. Let it fly.
Okay, I will. But when you're out of playoff contention around Thanksgiving and you still have to go to work and be the pro and put yourself out there physically, like I've been around this game long enough where I've seen my friends explode on the field. I think of a guy named Tommy Doyle, who's one of my good buddies, who was just in a preseason game, messed his leg up so bad that he has permanent drop foot because he severed a nerve in his leg. Like he was just playing football. So, I
think you made the right decision.
Yeah, it was.
The NFL stands for not for long, and you made it longer than 99%.
I finessed my way. I bobbed and weaved. And I will tell you something. I was along for the ride for a lot of good football players that made me look a lot better than I was and got me paid a few times. So right place, right time is a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, let's just then go straight to the Bills, because you hit a little bit of Trevor Lawrence. The Steelers struck a chord with me. Mitch Morse, you were part of the 13 seconds game.
I was.
You were there. In your Bills tenure, you're 0-3 against the Chiefs as well. I want to talk about that, but you were part of the 13 seconds game. In the playoffs.
We got a few regular seasons in there.
But as someone that was a part of that 13 seconds game, what do you remember most from those last few minutes?
Oh, man. I remember my buddy Gabe Davis having himself a day.
I think he had 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. Four in total, 2 in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's my buddy, one of my best friends. See him do that was pretty remarkable. What I remember is sitting there still having a pretty uneasy feeling because the clock had not hit 0. And 3 years before, I had been in an AFC Championship game on the other sideline against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
They're iconic. They're so great.
Yeah, but they're sons of bitches.
Yeah, and we had to go down. It was a back and forth game. And the Chiefs had to go down with 18 seconds left or something to kick a field goal and send it into overtime.
Yes.
So I'm like, it's not 0, fellas. Yeah. And, of course, the guys are really fired up in the sideline because any other team, with any other coach,
you're like, we won
quarterback duo who doesn't have Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, this is probably in the bag. And they go down there and they do it, man. And I remember kind of being stoic with the whole thing, but you could feel, no one was screaming or anything, but you could just feel the life just kind of. And then those boys go down and they score a tud.
First possession, yeah.
And the thing is, I had lived in Kansas City.
Yeah, you were there for 4 years before.
Well, yeah, so that's where we called home base in the off season. We just sold our house there.
Wow.
So I'm like,
I can't go back.
No, well, I had to go back. Of course, we had to fly back, do exit interviews, and I'm coming straight back to Kansas City in my neighborhood with my neighbors who are all huge Chiefs fans, great neighbors who really took care of me and never rubbed it in my face.
Some of the nicest fans.
They're good folks.
Yeah.
And they took care of me. But it still sucked the first week you came back, and it was still, the Chiefs were still in it, and it was Red Friday, which is the day and during the week where everyone dresses up in Chiefs gear. Yeah, that game. I mean, objectively, you take a step back, it's one of the greatest games. It has a monogram around it, the 13 seconds.
Yeah.
But man, did it not suck the soul out of you.
Wildest game you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, probably.
It's crazy you say, because I think you had a different perspective than everyone else because you were on the team you were going against before that. So you knew, like, you guys are down, Chiefs are up, Bills go down, score.
Yeah.
And you're like, while everyone's celebrating, they still got a chance. Then Tyreek goes down, scores. They scored. I remember running across. He throws up the peace sign. Then you got to go right back down.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis scores again. Everyone's like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen? There's still 13 seconds left. Actually, it was like 18 seconds left, and they had to have that first completion to Tyreek, I believe it was. And they gained like 18.
And I think it was legit 13 seconds they had.
Well, it was 13 seconds by the time Kelsey got down. I think you – oh, no, you're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Which makes it even worse.
You're correct. I'm sorry, man.
It's all right. I mean, I'm just seeing my friend across the way, Travis, do his thing. I'm like, oh, no.
Did you talk to him afterwards? Like, at what point do you then reconnect with another, like a Chiefs player after that?
Directly after the game, it's all embraced. I remember having a really good conversation with Coach Reed and Pat and Travis. You know, you're gutted, but those are still your buddies. I mean, you're fucking gutted, dude. Yeah. You're sitting there just like, oh no. My wife was in the stands. She had just given birth to my son like 10 days before. Because I had flown back to Kansas City to have my son, then fly back to Buffalo. Yeah, well, they went on. Although, actually, the thing that makes it the worst, in my opinion, is that they ended up losing to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. You'd rather have them go win it all.
Of course.
Yeah.
You'd rather them blow out everyone.
Yeah.
It was like the one time those few years they didn't get out of the AFC Championship game. So you're just like, damn, dude. What could have been, you know?
Yeah, it's weird because like we were just talking about, like, you were in Buffalo for 5 years. In the playoffs, you're 0-3 against the Chiefs. This is not just a one-off. This feels like a trend. As someone that played for the Bills, why can't the Bills get over the hump and beat the Chiefs? Why can't the Bills get over the hump in general? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you see an organization that made a change thinking that they found it. Do I think it's the right one? Only time will tell. I mourn the man. I love Sean. I think he's a great coach. He could have a very Andy Reid-ish leaving Eagles going on to 100%. Be a great, right? If you had a pill that told you all the answers to that department, you'd be a billionaire. Because I couldn't tell you. I mean, every single year it's, you know, for the most part it was Josh playing out of his mind. And then, you know, we couldn't close it out against a very profound Chiefs team. Or this is probably the one playoff game this past year against the Broncos that Josh wished he could have a few plays back. Where the defense actually played pretty well. There's so many variables. And if there was one glaring thing, I'd sit here and tell you.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes it the frustrating thing is that it's always just like either the team we're playing against just plays better than you, which is not a sexy answer. But it's not. It sucks. It's a suck-ass answer. But it's just the one thing that screams in my head.
Yeah, I also, to the point of you just made with the pill, I feel like if I took a pill and I had to assume my pill was the pill that would keep me alive versus killing me, I would say that pill is that game specifically, or maybe the following one where to be 0-3 against the Chiefs, is partially the downfall of this year, which is, okay, we don't need to surround Josh with all this talent. He can overcome it. He can be the MVP. It's almost the Chiefs' philosophy once Tyreek left. It was like give a supporting cast that's just good enough and let the quarterback be superhero. And I think what we saw is that even Josh, even the MVP, even what people would probably say is the best quarterback today, better than Mahomes, is that even he needs help. And so I think that game almost like began to like signal to the front office that, oh, maybe we don't actually need to support him in the way that most teams would support their QB1.
I have a question for you in that department. What do you deem as support for a quarterback?
So I think there's a reason. It's a good question. I think there's a reason and enough of a sample size to say Super Bowl winners don't need to pay their running backs a hefty amount. And I think that sample size enough tells us that if we deprioritize the running back position from a contractual standpoint and put that to a wide receiver on the outside, someone that when the going gets tough can separate, that to me is a big difference maker for a team to try and get over the hump. And I think that's why Mahomes has, obviously he did it 1 year, but that's really why I think you saw the Mahomes success take off, early on. It's why I think Sam Darnold was able to flourish when you have a JSN, a Rashid Shaheed. It's still at the same time why the Broncos were having success. Like even Courtland Sutton was, regardless of what you think about him, they're paying him like a wide receiver 1, so he can make plays. I just think, and it's the thing I've always said about the Ravens, the reason I never feel the Ravens will be successful, even though I love Zay Flowers, I went to school with him, we played basketball together, all these things. I don't think the Ravens will ever be successful because their best weapon outside of Lamar has to be taken off the field if they're down. Now, James can play in the passing game, but he didn't play enough in the passing game. So I think now that the Bills got DJ Moore, I think it signifies a complete shift, a philosophical shift.
How'd
I do?
You did really good.
Was
No, I know. That was super impressive. Because people throw this thing out, and they're not able to give those answers. So I do appreciate that, because some people say like, well, we have the receivers, but we need support with them because the offensive line. We look at the Bills; they have one of the best offensive lines in the game. We don't have a running game. Well, James Cook is one of the greatest in the league. And I would have told you that we had the receivers, and I think that they do now. But it's so hard to answer this without being disparaging to the players on that team.
It's so hard.
You know what I mean? Because it's like saying a guy needs to make this block.
Yeah.
Like, could you have made that block?
Yeah.
Like, sitting on my couch, I could make that fucking block.
Okay, I have a question for you, Mitch.
Yeah.
I got in this debate with Damian Harris.
It's one of my buddies.
I fucking love Damian, and I got into this debate. Mitch Morse, let me rephrase it. Mitch Morse, can I get 1 yard in an NFL game in the backfield?
How many carries do you have?
Damian said unlimited carries. My argument basically was that I can get an average human being to get 1 rushing yard in the NFL because I could just dive right there. I can just get 1 yard. If I get put right behind your ass, I'm just going to try and follow you. And if I get 30 carries in the game, I may die 29 of them. But if I get 1 and $1 million on the line, I feel like I can get 1 yard.
Well, the thing that matters is the definition of your average Joe. Because I would say that you are not your average Joe. You seem like you have an athletic build that you could probably find a way to get 1 yard. It also depends on the scheme of the run.
For sure.
It also depends on the offensive line, not so much how individually how they are, but how they play, the continuity of it. Yeah, if you have unlimited carries, you're going to get a yard. In my opinion. Yeah. I don't think if you give an average Joe 50 throwing attempts
that they're completing one pass?
They're not completing a single pass.
Really?
No, because
the other argument.
That shit is happening so fast. Not that the run game doesn't either. but if I told you, like, all right, we have unlimited amount of attempts to get this man 1 yard, 30 minutes before the game, I'm going to teach them how to take an under center snap, and we're going to do a tush push. 30 times. And it's not going to be easy. And a few of those times, you're going to get rocked or we're going to get our ass kicked. But statistically, 1 out of those 30 times, you're going to get at least 1 yard. Yeah. That's my humble opinion.
We're coming up on time, and so we can only get into that Bills situation. But I want to touch one thing on the Chiefs, and then I want to fuck around a little bit. But
sure.
I've had this debate, and I talked about it a little bit with Donovan McNabb a few weeks ago. If anyone's listening or watching, if you haven't seen that episode, check that out. But
go check it out.
Who has more success today, Patrick Mahomes in Buffalo or Josh Allen in Kansas City? Now, I'm not talking about in the past, and I'm not going to sit here and say who has more success if you flipped it when they came into the league. I'm saying knowing what you know today, moving forward, 2026 NFL season and on, who has more success? Success could be a lot of things. Success could be Super Bowls. Success could be MVPs. Success could be making it to the Super Bowl, however you deem it. But I've had this debate.
I'd like to hear what you say because it is so broad and relative success. I mean, I think you would probably say Super Bowls.
Okay,
success,
so should we just say Super Bowls? Who has more Super Bowls moving forward over the next 10 years?
I'm going to give you the most PG answer you're going to fucking hate, dude.
Okay.
Because I love both these guys so much, and to disparage one of them, I wouldn't be able to sleep. And I feel like if you say one's going to do the other, it'd be disparaging. It is hard to...
Don't say win in this league.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Nope. It is hard. It is very hard to win in this league. It is hard to argue that Andy Reid is not one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NFL. You put him with some guys, he is going to win. That being said, one of my favorite teammates of all time was Alex Smith. And they moved on from Alex Smith, and he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Man who had taken these guys to the divisional round, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Pat comes in, pretty much what you said, same roster. We're sniffing the Super Bowl his first year starting. I don't know if I can answer that question because I think it could go either way or it could go about. I just think that in this instance, Pat probably doesn't get enough credit than he deserves in this thing. And I love Josh. He's if I dreamed of playing football, which I don't, he's the guy I'm snapping the football to, right? But Patrick is all that and a bag of chips.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit one over the other. I'm just saying you have one of the most dynamic players in the last quarter century, and you have one of the greatest coaches of all time in this league paired up together, and you're seeing why magic is being made.
Yeah, it's similar to what I said, which is players don't fail organizations, organizations fail players, and it's why I think Josh Allen in Kansas City would have more success because the organization has been able to support their quarterback and Patrick Mahomes more than I feel the Bills have been able to support Josh Allen. And I feel Josh Allen as a player gets more credit, and Patrick Mahomes doesn't get enough credit in today's NFL.
Well said.
Yeah, so I think it'd be Josh. And that's not a knock on Pat. It's an organizational thing.
Sure. Gotcha.
All right, we are fully up against time, so we're gonna fuck around with some social questions. I literally wrote on the top social fuck arounds.
Okay.
Because I think this is where we very much, for lack of a better term, get to. I don't want to say it again because now if your son's listening,
go for it.
I feel a fuck around.
No, you're fine. He's 4 right now, so we got some time. I can work around this.
Okay, sweet. No, 3:30. You said you have to leave at 4?
No, he is 4 years old. So I have some time before he's going on the socials, diving through the deep end. He's going to look at his dad mess up a lot of football before.
Yeah.
Hopefully he looks up the football player before and is like, ooh.
Well,
before
I think this stat is a good.
All right, I'm ready for this.
Good denominator, I'd say, for your success. You played in the NFL for 10 years.
That's true.
Of your 10 NFL years, you had 9 10-plus win seasons. Only once did you have below 10 wins, and that's with the Jags. We're not going to talk about that. But Mitch Morse, you know a successful NFL team when you see it. You've been on them. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Alex
Smith. I want us to go through all the NFL teams right now heading into 2026.
Okay.
And pick who we think is going to have 10 wins this season.
Okay.
Now, 12 teams had 10 wins this season. We could pull it out. I don't know if you have your phone because I don't know if we're going to remember. But we could just go down the list. And I'm very curious what you would say.
Okay.
If they're going to have 10 wins or not.
Yeah.
Okay? We'll just go through it. The Bills.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to think of how I'm. Okay, 1. Dolphins. Don't be a dick.
I think they're going to surprise people. 10 wins is tough.
Okay. Patriots.
I'm not betting against Vrabel.
Okay.
I think they're going to do
2.
it again.
Jets.
No.
Next. Right?
No.
Ravens.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
3. Bengals.
No.
Browns.
No.
Steelers.
That's a tough one. You know what? I think they are.
Wow.
I think they are.
Wow. Okay. Texans.
Yes.
Wow. Colts.
Ooh. They started so hot, dude.
hot.
And then they lost.
10
The problem is, I'm going to say, wow, so Mitch, you picked 20 teams that have.
Well, 12 had 10 wins last year. 10-plus wins last year.
Yeah, but we haven't even gotten out of. We've just went through
it's
one
third
division, right?
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
Okay, fair. Yes.
Jags.
Yes.
Titans.
No, but they're going to be remarkably better.
The Ponies.
Are we going to the Broncos you're talking about?
That's a regression candidate, which will probably be clipped, but because I just
it
said
is,
that,
but I do think I can't bet against Sean Payton.
Chiefs.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Raiders.
No.
Chargers.
Dude, the Chargers are the most baffling team to me in the NFL.
Why?
Because on paper they have dudes.
Yeah.
I think Justin Herbert's the man.
Yeah.
And I like Harbaugh.
And now you put McDaniel in there.
They put McDaniel in there. So they could, this could be the one that's clipped. I'm saying no. But they could really make they could plant their flag in that division.
That's the start of like a great edit, like a social edit that someone does. Like, I'm going to say no. Boom. And then it's like,
That's okay. I'll eat crow on that one.
I think they're right on the cusp. Cowboys.
Dude, that defense is going to be nuts.
I think the Cowboys.
Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams.
I think they're good.
I think they're good. And we saw Dak Prescott play the best football we've seen him play.
The only issue is Dak has one amazing year, then a shit year. One amazing year. But just something to think about.
Yeah, but this is going to be year 11 for the kid. I'm saying yes.
I love it. The Giants.
They're going to be better. 10 wins is tough. No.
Okay, Eagles.
Yeah, I do.
Commanders.
No. And that's all predicated on their quarterback's health.
Jaden Daniels is a beast, though. Bears.
He's a beast. Yeah, I do. I think the Bears are going to
Lions.
Yes.
Packers.
This division is nuts.
This whole division might be a 10-plus win team.
Yeah, well, I think we saw it this year, except for how do you see the Lions are 8-8 and you still feel like they were a powerhouse?
100%.
Right? Or 8-9, even whatever it is. Yeah.
Was that the Packers or the Lions? Did I just say?
No, you already did Lions.
So that was the Packers. So 14. Yes. Vikings with Kyler. Let's assume. Wow. Falcons.
No, but they're going to get better with Stefanski.
Panthers.
Another fascinating team. They made a great leap. They're going to continue to make that leap, but I don't think they're going to reach 10.
Saints.
We just said this, but that is this division.
This division, yeah. They're just going to beat up on each other, cannibalize each other.
I think if anyone's going to make 10 wins in this, see, it's going to be. Oh, but I love the Bucs so much. I love the Bucs. I'm going to say a
9-win season. I feel like for the Saints.
Well, the thing is, we already said that they're going to be. We say they're going to win their division, did we? We said they're going to be better.
We said they're going to. They had a good chance. They were second to win their division.
Okay, so I'm going to go no, but I'm going to say they're going to be sniffing it, and I think the Bucs are going to have 10 wins.
Okay, the Bucs, the Cardinals. Fuck no.
No, I don't think the Cardinals.
The Rams.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Niners with Mike Evans now.
Yeah, I'm all in. Mac Jones is one of my best friends. He says that culture there is crazy.
Wow. Yeah. And then last but not least, your Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks.
They're going to be hard to beat.
18 teams.
I know. See, that's not feasible.
I think
it's just not feasible. That means the other teams are going to not win a game.
You know what? It is feasible in our world. Everyone's a winner.
I just think so those are the teams that have the opportunity to. Yeah.
I think you pearled the teams that have the possibility. Now, if you just subtract like 5 or 6 of them, because that's just you never know.
I feel like if we had like another hour, we could go through those and divulge. But go on.
No, that was it. You crushed it.
That was it.
That was a great one.
Fantastic.
That was amazing. All right, here we go. Here, you ready for this one?
I'm ready for this one.
Keep 3, cut 5 NFL offenses since 2015. So like I just said, you've been on some elite offenses with Josh Allen, with Patrick Mahomes. You know what a good offense looks like.
Right.
So here we go.
Okay,
Keep 3, cut 5. You know how to play the game?
I do.
Okay. Starting off, near and dear to my heart, the 2023 Miami Dolphins. 70-point game.
Yep. But then we played them the next week, and we
kind
of gave them the business.
Personal.
Yeah, that offense was great.
You gonna keep them?
No, I'm gonna cut them.
That
70-point game was a statement. It was a statement that put the NFL on notice and locker rooms on notice.
And given the fact that Bam just broke Kobe's record and had 83, McDaniel should have went for the fucking record. The 2018 Chiefs. You were there.
I'm glad they're keeping those. That was one of the third highest scoring offenses in NFL history, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a remarkable season.
You did lose to the Patriots in the conference championship, but it doesn't matter. Tyreek Kelsey, Sammy Watkins, Kareem Hunt. That team was fucking loaded. The 2016 Falcons.
Oh, man.
Matt Ryan MVP season.
We played them too, and they were so good.
Julio. Yeah. Devontae Freeman.
So good.
This team in Madden was ridiculous.
They were great. I'm going to cut them.
Wow. That was okay. The 2018 Rams lost in the Super Bowl. This is like Cooper Kupp before Cooper Kupp was Cooper Kupp.
I'm keeping them.
Wow.
I just think about the Rams-Chiefs game in L.A. that was supposed to be played in Mexico. It was like 50-something to 50-something. Yes. Yeah. I think they were held to, like 6 points in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. They were 13-3. That was the one.
3. So
Crazy.
that's so tough to say, that offense. That just shows how good that Patriots defense was.
Holy shit.
So how many do I have?
So you've now cut the 2023 Dolphins. You've kept the 2018 Chiefs. You've cut the 2016 Falcons that lost in the Super Bowl 28-3. They deserve to be cut. And then you've kept the 2018 Rams. So you now have one spot left to keep with 4 teams.
That's not great. Okay,
Choose wisely.
Yep.
The 2020 Bucks. Brady Super Bowl, Gronk, AB, Mike, Godwin.
I think of that defense more than I think of that offense, and they
Really?
were so good. Yeah, I'm not taking away anything.
So you're cutting?
I'm cutting those guys. Yeah.
Wow, that's a crazy one. The 2021 Cowboys, 12-5, Dak in the MVP combo, but you had Zeke, CD, Amari Cooper, 13th most points scored in NFL history in a season.
That's remarkable. I'm going to cut them.
2 spots left. You're cutting the Bucks and the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. The 2024 Detroit Lions, 4th most points scored. Goff, Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Monty J-Mo, Laporta, Ben Johnson at his peak.
Yep. We played those guys, and they spanked us by about 60.
So it's.
I just don't.
Who do you? I don't even want to say.
I don't know who.
Who else would be there? Since you got into the league.
Yeah, man, that was so good.
That team was.
I know. So the one that I'm going to miss out on, I'm going to kick myself, and I'm going to keep that one.
You're going to keep that one?
I'm going to keep that one, yeah.
Wow.
They were that good, yeah.
So you're cutting the Dolphins. You're keeping the 18 Chiefs. You're cutting the 16 Falcons. You're keeping the 18 Rams. Cutting the Super Bowl Bucks.
And how I know this game is you always save the primo for the last, so go on.
You're cutting the 21 Cowboys, which was a fun team, but I had a feeling you'd cut. And you're keeping the 2024 Lions. The team that you must cut is the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles with Hurts and Saquon, 2K rushing.
Yeah, we played both those teams that year.
Who was better? Who was tougher to play, the 24 Eagles or the 24 Lions? Now, granted, the Eagles obviously won the Super Bowl.
Well, the thing was, we actually somehow made it a game in Philadelphia. We were going down somehow to win that game. The Lions had us. They had us by 50 in the third quarter.
So the Lions?
The Lions, yeah.
I feel like the Lions, this is how I would phrase it as a fan. I feel like the Lions were a scarier team to go against. The Eagles were just a team that,
they knew how to win.
They knew how to win.
They knew how to win. They had guys who were just winners. And not that the Lions don't, but, yeah, it was crazy.
I
feel actually okay about that list.
Yeah, it's a good list. Yeah. No, you crushed that. Wow. All right, I got 2 last things for you. Mitch Morse, as someone who played with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, who are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL today, excluding those 2.
Ooh, okay.
So I need you to take out Josh, take out Mahomes.
Yep.
The list starts there.
Yep.
Because that'd probably be 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm going to put Dak Prescott up there. I just think he's especially he's on a team that people want to shit on. So that's going to be exacerbated on the player. He's a good quarterback.
Are you saying that he's 3, or are you saying you're just doing no order?
I'm doing no order.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, these are guys.
By the way, I'm beyond happy that you just put Dak there. I fucking love Dak.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's really good, solid football player. Matthew Stafford. Yeah, got to have Stafford in there. I'm just going through divisions right now.
Yeah, see, I've always said this. The light is bright, but it's quite literally Super Bowl bright when you have to think of quarterbacks that still play this game.
Yes.
You just forget.
100%. Yeah. We're going through, and I know this is painstaking, but you can cut this.
No,
you're going to the AFC East. I'm going to put May in my back pocket real quick.
Okay.
AFC South.
Yeah.
Put them in my back pocket for now. AFC North. Lamar Jackson.
Way to play.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go through. So I have Joe Burrow over here along with Drake May, just in case we run some
in the
guys.
back pocket. The back pocket's got some star-studded talent.
The West, I love Herbert, but top 5 is tough.
Wow.
All right, let's go through the NFC. The NFC West, we've already said Matthew Stafford. I'm going to put Sam Darnold in my back pocket over here because the light does shine bright.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to go NFC South.
Man, your back pocket is a Pro Bowl roster right now.
I know. It sucks. NFC South, Baker's great. Top 5. I think he's just sniffing outside of that right now. He's definitely in the top 10.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go NFC North. Ooh.
This is...
Ooh. I'm going to take someone out of my back pocket and put Joe Burrow.
Okay.
On the list.
Way to utilize the back pocket.
Yeah. I'm going to put...
So you got Dak, Stafford, Lamar, Joe.
So I only have one more.
You have one more.
Oh, Jesus.
This is
going to get a lot of hate.
No, it's nobody. None of us
but
know
no one
shit.
really know. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know shit.
Yeah, I love...
Before this year, I put Tua.
I do think we could get a serious redemption story if we're talking
Please.
about players. I want Tua to do well
Same.
bad.
Same.
And this is going to go off, and I'm sure I'm missing a few guys, but this is a guy that I would love to play with just because the way he carries himself, and he's in that back pocket. And I think Drake May could be there one day because he played out of his mind. I'm going to put Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
In there.
Mitch.
I love Jalen Hurts.
You are like the messiah in Jalen Hurts' corner to talk up Jalen. I feel like
I know it. I know.
Good for you.
I know. I just love the way he carries himself, man.
Why is he being shit on?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. That being said, I don't know what the intricacies are in the locker room, but I just find myself gravitating towards him, and I think barring last year, he just seems to have his most stoic, epic performances when it matters the most, and then he just kind of talking about what makes Vrabel so great is like win big or lose, just kind of this smooth customer. Jalen Hurts is a smooth customer.
You could, they might need a tush push guy.
I got nothing left to give him, man.
Your top 5 is Dak, Stafford, Lamar, Joe, Jalen Hurts. I think that's right there.
I feel pretty good about that.
That's right there.
Sick.
That's right there.
Right.
And last but not least, something that I think I've tried doing this in the past, but I want to do this with you, and you and I have you've been so gracious with your time, and like we talked for a while off camera and whatnot, but Mitch Morse, I want you to propose a question to the next guest on Caps Off. Now, you don't know who that next guest is, but you know it is either a former or current NFL player. So knowing what you know, knowing your 10 years in the NFL, and knowing all your experience, and me just being able to have the opportunity to talk to you and both on camera and off camera, I now get to recreate being like a fan on the sidelines in a way, in the stands, and listen to this. So Mitch Morse proposed one question to the next NFL athlete to come on Caps Off.
Okay, so that's a great question, by the way. The thing I would say, and I kind of asked this a few times to some guys, and it's the way you propose this question, so maybe I can word vomit and you can put this in together. But what is your one, maybe it's obscure, NFL hill you will die on? And what I mean by that is, for me, it's how can you ban the tush push because someone's so good at it? It's not a player safety thing. It's just because one team's good at it and people hate it. Now, that being said, after I asked that, they said they're not going to ban it. But that's just an insane argument to have. Yeah. Like, they're going to ban it because one team's so good. So that's what I say. Maybe it's your rule or play or something like, what is your NFL hill that you'll die on? And maybe they take it and run with it, but that's just my thought.
I love that. That's a complete box that I did not think you were going to step outside of.
There you go.
But Mitch, I know we went over on time, but like this last hour and 15, man, you are, I think when I get these opportunities to sit down with people that have lived such a completely different life than we have as fans, and you get to see the person underneath the helmet, what I feel as a fan is a lot more in touch with everything you've kind of felt through your 10-year career, if that makes sense. Like, absolutely. I feel more in touch with, as cliche as it might sound, like the emotions that you kind of felt, and I think ultimately, like, as fans, like, we don't get to experience anything but knee-jerk reactions to headlines and whatnot. So to have this time, you were gracious, humble, honest, open, like it was like you're the fucking man.
Dude, you have a gift of this thing, so hopefully you keep celebrating that gift. It was a treat for you to come up here. I know it was a 5-hour jaunt, more than to sit with me. I'll never forget that. And I fooled you. That's the biggest thing. I fooled everyone.
Yep.
I'm actually a real piece of shit.
Yep.
So
a real piece of shit with an amazing beard. Mitch Morse.
I appreciate you, pal. Thanks, guys.